Nasa na yung Basilio na yun? Ay, mga senyor at senyora, magandang hapon po. Ako po ay si Simeon, pero kung mas magugustuhan po ninyo na mag-Ingles na lang ho ako, edi kaya ko naman po. Like I said, my name is Simeon. I'm a simple man, what people may call a jeweler. I sell many beautiful things like, what is this? Look at this. Look at these jewels. Look at them. They may be Lego jewels, but they're still jewels nonetheless, you know. I sell these all across the nation. I was just waiting for my friend Basilio, but it seems that he's taking quite a while. Look at these coins, gold coins, Lego gold coins, but still gold coins nonetheless. What brings you here? I know what's brought you here. The Filibusterismo book review, and that's exactly what I'm gonna bring you. Greetings, folks! Welcome back to the Seth Show, and for this, my thoughts on, after that cringy intro, I am going to give you, like what Simeon said, the Filibusterismo book review. Now, you may also remember that around a year ago, I did a review on Jose Rizal's first book, Noli Me Tangere, and my gosh, recently it has exploded. It was at like 400 reactions a couple months ago. Now that the third, fourth quarter of the school year has rolled around and people are required to read Noli Me Tangere and El Fili, people are just clicking. It's at like 800 views right now, so thank you very much for that. Now, I will be doing El Filibusterismo, the sequel, or what they like to call the follow-up to Jose Rizal's Noli. Because Noli can be a story on its own. It doesn't need El Fili to finish the story, but El Fili continues it, so it's more of a follow-up than a sequel, what I read. Now, I will be giving you my thoughts on this book. The plot, a summary of the plot, the characters, the other details about the book. No spoilers, don't worry, as if you care, and maybe even some tips, help on how to do your El Filibusterismo projects in your school, whether it's ACE or conventional or whatever. I'm here for you, so thank you for clicking. Let's get with the review. Now, El Filibusterismo, the second book of our national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal, which can be translated from El Filibusterismo to the subversive or the rebel. It can also be translated to the reign of greed, but I prefer the first two because it's more exact, is the follow-up to Noli Me Tangere, like what I said. Now, the main story takes place 13 years after the events of the Noli. So, the Noli ends, that story's done. 13 years later, this takes place. The main character is Simeon. He's a wealthy jeweler. It's called the Black Eminence. He is the kind of like an unofficial advisor to the Governor General, because they're friends. They met in Cuba. Now they're back in the Philippines, and he has a bunch of plans. He's very mysterious. You don't really know a lot about him at first. You kind of get the sense that he's a bad guy because of his demeanor. I'm actually this is exactly what I wore last time, but it was more fixed. Like, my buttons were fixed and stuff because I was playing Crisostomo Ibarra, the Ilustrado of Noli Me Tangere. But now I am Simeon, same thing, but it's more begrudged, whatever. Anyway, Simeon, he has lots of schemes. He's a very conniving character. Very well written, actually. An upgrade from Ibarra, from Noli, in my opinion, because there's more dramatic scenes, there's more tenseful scenes with the main character, which is Simeon, and the story arc is really it goes full circle. It's amazing. Some other characters in this book are also appeared in Noli, like Basilio and Padre Salvi, Doña Victorina, Padre Sibilla, I believe, made a very quick appearance. But also, there are a bunch of new characters like Isagani and Padre Florentino, Padre Camora, the Chinaman Quiroga, and a bunch of the other students fellow students of Basilio and Isagani. Now they're just primary characters. The main character is Simeon. The primary characters are Basilio, Isagani. There's also Juanito Pelaez, the rival of Isagani, for the heart of their crush, their university crush, which is... Wait, what's her name again? Shoot! What's her name? What's her name? This is awkward. I'll be right back. Paulita, yes! Okay, I'm back. I found the name. Paulita Gomez. She is the love interest of Isagani and his rival, Juanito Pelaez. There's also Julie or Juli, who is the love interest of Basilio. Like I said before, Basilio and Isagani, they're students. Their kind of subplot is that them with a bunch of other students in the university are trying to get a university or an academy for the Castillian language, basically the Spanish language, so the Filipinos or the Indios can learn and study it. Of course, the Spaniards, a lot of them are against that because they might go subversive. And that's the main kind of subplot with Isagani and Basilio. A lot more stuff happens later on, which is more intense, but that's kind of spoilery stuff. Yeah, I think that's all that I can say for the plot, because a huge segment of the plot relies on a twist and on a reveal that in chapter 7, I believe. And without knowing that reveal, the other stuff later on won't make sense. Or, yeah, it's very spoilery, so I suggest that you just read it and see the plot for yourselves. It's beautiful, it's awesome. Now, it's widely said that El Fili is the inferior book in Rizal's catalog of books that he's written, the other being Noli. But in my opinion, Noli is the objectively better novel. It's better written, it's more descriptive, there's more of a flair to it. It's the better written novel. Like, it's the one that's probably more entertaining, funnier, that what my Lola said. A lot more humorous and lighthearted, while El Fili is just like, it's the complete opposite. It's very serious, it has a very serious plot and story. There's all these subplots, and it's very blatant in showing off the hypocrisy and the corruption of the Spaniards at that time. I'm actually surprised that when Rizal released this book, he wasn't executed on the spot. So yeah, objectively speaking, it's widely, almost universally agreed that Noli Me Tangere is the better written novel. But in my opinion, El Fili has the better story. You know, it's an... I can't tell you much about it because we'll get into spoiler territory, darn. Doesn't matter. It is just so much better, the story-wise. The El Fili has a lot more intense scenes. Like, this has actual page turners. You know, Noli, I was interested, I was entertained, but this has actual page turners. Near the end, when I was reading through it and I read through the end of the chapter, I was like, usually at the end of a chapter, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna count how many pages are in the next chapter, and I'll close the book, put it down, and then I'll read it later on because I just like finish a chapter and then I move on. But in the end of some of these chapters, I'm just like, okay, I gotta continue, I gotta keep on going because it's so entertaining, it's so intense that you just have to know what happens next. It's that kind of book. It's amazing. This also has a lot more gut-punching moments, like times when you just read through it and you're like, no, that hurts, that actually happened. I was reading through it, I'm like, oh my gosh, no. This book, this will, if you are very emotionally connected to the characters, this will make you sad. But in a way, it does have a very good conclusion. It ends... Wait, why am I gonna tell you how it ends? No, it ends very well. The character arcs go full circle. It doesn't have a happy ending. No. Do not mistake this book for a book that has a happy ending. Happy ending for some people, terrible ending for others, but generally it was a good way to end the book. What would be my tips when you do your Noli Fili projects? Well, tip number 1, be interested. Be actually think about picking up these books and reading them. They are works of art. They're novels, contrary to what some people, friends included, originally thought. They have amazing, thrilling, entertaining stories. So actually pick them up, read through it, at least just summaries of the chapters, and then get your story. Actually invest time into it, exert effort. Don't just put something together so you can submit something. Actually take the time to work through your projects about these books, because you won't regret it. They're amazing. They are fantastic. And all the other synonyms that those doggies. If only I'd pull a Simoun on those dogs. What? Oh, there are so many synonyms to the words amazing, excellent, fantastic, entertaining? Anyway, what else is there to say about the book besides what I've already said numerous times, repeatedly? Immerse yourself. Actually, in my opinion, El Fili has become my favorite book of all time. No joke. I mean, I've read a bunch of other books here. I've read Peter Pan, Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen, The Invisible Man, Wizard of Oz. I've read those books, and I will read a lot more classics from Europe. But in my opinion, this is my favorite book of all time. Second is Noli. Why? First of all, the familiarity. It's in a place. It mentions, okay, it's in Manila. They go to Los Baños in Laguna. The familiarity factor just adds so much. It makes me like more immersed into the book. Second, the fact that everything that happened in the book probably happened at some point in history, or did happen during Rizal's time. Like, it's historical fiction at its finest. Well, that's probably the wrong term, but you know what I mean. You go to a period in history and then you write about it. It's brilliant. Rizal, you are amazing. This should be known worldwide. It's fantastic. There's really not much more to be said. I've said everything that I can without giving spoilers. Well, nothing more to be said. Then thank you very much for watching. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded, but you know, studies, paces, it's a lot to take in. These books are amazing. The Rizal saga, it's brilliant, fantastic, thrilling. This is better in my opinion. It's more entertaining, more intense, more heart racing, whatever. All those synonyms of words, yeah. Thank you very much for watching. I love these books. I love the writings of Rizal. It's amazing. Again, for the third or fourth time, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully I helped you in some way or another. Hopefully this was an aid to your project or to your studies in Noli or Fili. Thank you for the view. Thank you for watching for the 5th or 6th time or whatever. Thank you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.